In the next 5 minutes, you will know how to do a burst fade. Let's get it. When doing a burst fade, you have to make sure that the top is even to the back. I'm coming in with the 5 guard and taking the top down. As you can see that now the length is matching the length of the back. I'm going to take long strokes. See here, I'm cutting, there's nothing cutting. So the 5 guard right here is the best guard we can use. Now I'm going to come in with my next step. To start this burst fade, I'm going to go and close with my clipper. Start right around just under that vertical bar. Going to make a straight line, then creating another guideline down here. I'm going to connect them two, right? We create a straight line, now we're going to connect it. That will be my first guideline, and boom. I've got my 1 guard, I'm going to slap that on, open, create my second guideline, making it quite thick, and I'm going above his vertical box. So I've created my first strip, create my another strip down here. I'm going to connect them now. And as you can see, his hair at the back is a lot thicker than the hair on the side, so we've got to keep that in mind. My next step is I'm going to freehand this. This is going to be a higher burst fade because he has a buzz cut, so boom, it is already fading in, right? Doing the same thing to the back and stiff handing it. This technique is called stiff handing freestyle. My next step is with my 2 guard, come in, open, take that bulk that you see there. Parietal ridge carries more weight because all the hair is just flowing and laying on top of itself. So we're going to use our corners to take off those spots that you see right there. Boom, boom. Now I'm going to close this guard, boom, to take off any more lines that we see, moving along to the back as well. Doing the same thing, opening it with the 2 guard, coming in, now closing it to blend it even more. And most clients have thicker hair at the back, so we always want to tailor it to how our client's head is. Moving on to my next step. For this V burst fade, I'm going to do a liner, starting it right there because that's where the hair starts to frail off, and then continuing that same line to the middle point of his head. Because he has so much overgrowth, we have to push this line back to create that shape that we want. So I'm going to take out all this bulk. He has a lot of neck hair, so we want to clean it up without bringing it up too high. This is the most optimal because this part is very light, but he is very thick. If we take it too low, this point will not be sharp at all. To do his front lineup, I'm going to get rid of this shelf that he has and all this bulk. I'm going to come in with my comb. He has more bulk up here and here. So that's why this is a great tool to use to manipulate what we want to take off. He has a cowlick actually going this way, that way. So we want to take off where the dark spots are. When we solve the client's problem like this, the client sees the slight difference. He doesn't know what it is. This is where the barber's job is, solving your client's problem. Anytime you solve anyone's problem in any industry, that's where you succeed. After I've done that, I'm going to use my little bit of alcohol on this, and this will allow us to have a crispy lineup. Some people neglect this. Spray a little bit of holding spray. This will lock everything in place. Using our trimmer to come in and line up. I'm going to start at his front lineup. He has a huge overgrowth over here and here because he has a cowlick. And then continue that same line all across to the other side. I'm going to line up the vertical bars first. Right about there is where his natural line is. Right there is where we'll stop connecting that to our vertical bar, meeting it at a right angle crossed. Now I'm going to come in with my second last step, open, coming up 1 centimeter above that line, across the whole way. Once I've done my first pass through, I'm going to actually leave this dark, just touching it barely. Then I'm going to freehand this by scooping out and doing a rough blend. As you can see, that line is slowly going out, but still there for enough for us to detail it. I'm going to do the same for the back as well. I'm using my corners here, and I'm angling out here to create this gradual transition into the back. Once I've done that, I'm going to move to my next guard, which is taking out that line with a half guard and going open, close it a little bit, taking out that line. Here I am trying to blend it into that top because this is the highest and longest lever. Now we're going to actually close it 1, 2, tack all those dark spots that we see. Boom, I see some here. Because his hair at the back is a lot thicker, we want to really focus on the back to make it match here to here. And now I'm going to close the lever fully to take out any remainders of dark spots we see. I'm gonna move on to my next step now. Last step, coming in closed and taking out this last guide line, scooping out at this line, and as you can see, it's coming off like butter. Remember that at the back here is a lot more thicker, so we're going to attack it even harder and go up even a bit higher as well. Right, because it's thick, it creates the illusion that it's the same as this side. Open it, 1, 2, blend it into that. I'm going to open it even more, blending it in. At some areas of the head, you require more work. Finishing off with some last minute details. And then, just like that, we are done. That was the burst fade tutorial. If you guys want gems like this and more videos like this, let me know down below. Peace.